Toussaint Louverture, perhaps the greatest military genius in Haitian history, was born into slavery in the French colony of Saint-Domingue in 1743. Saint-Domingue was one of the richest colonies in the world due to its production of sugar, coffee, and cotton. The colony was run by a small number of wealthy white French planters who owned around 5,000 other people as slaves. In 1791, a massive slave uprising erupted in the colony. This uprising was led by voodoo priestesses and soon engulfed the entire colony. By the end of the year, the rebels had taken control of most of the countryside and were marching on the capital. Toussaint, at the age of 48, joined the revolt and distinguished himself as a military leader. His forces were outnumbered and outgunned, but he was able to defeat several French battalions, earning him the nickname Black Spartacus. In 1792, France adopted the motto liberty, equality, fraternity, and overthrew their king. But slavery still continued in the French colonies. In Saint-Domingue, Toussaint declared that all blacks, free and enslaved, were to be granted citizenship, right to vote, and most importantly, freedom from slavery. This act made him very popular among the masses, but it also made him an enemy of the French colonial authorities. After years of fighting, Toussaint's forces were victorious, and in 1797 he became governor of the colony, a position which made him the de facto ruler of Haiti. As governor, Toussaint abolished slavery, created a constitution, and set about the task of building a new society based on liberty, equality, and fraternity. In 1801, Napoleon Bonaparte came to power in France and began to restore slavery in the French colonies. He sent an army to Haiti to reinstate slavery and requested that Toussaint arrest the leaders of the revolution, send them to France to be tried for treason. Toussaint refused and instead declared war on France. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned once again, Toussaint was able to defeat several larger French forces. However, his generals betrayed him and signed a peace treaty with the French without his permission. Soon after, Toussaint was captured and sent to France as a prisoner of war. Upon his arrival in Paris, he was put on trial for his life. During the trial, Toussaint defended himself and his actions as a soldier and as a leader. He stated that he had fought for the liberation of his people and that he had done nothing wrong. Despite this, he was found guilty and sentenced to death. Toussaint was taken to a small town called Jarnac, where he was executed by firing squad on April 5, 1802. His head was cut off and his body was burned. The ashes were then scattered over the island of Corsica, Napoleon's place of birth. Although Toussaint is a hero in Haiti, his name is barely known outside of the country. This is mainly due to the fact that his story has been overshadowed by the more famous Haitian Revolution. However, Toussaint was arguably the most important figure in the revolution. Without his military genius and his commitment to the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity, it is unlikely that Haiti would have won its war for independence. Toussaint Louverture was a true revolutionary. He was a leader who fought for the liberation of his people and for the advancement of humanity. He was a man who believed in liberty, equality, and fraternity, and he was willing to die for these ideals. Toussaint is a reminder that the fight for freedom is never easy, but that it is always worth fighting for. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more.